This time last year, starting my quote dream job fell through at the very last second, leaving me with no cash, no job, and because I really don't want to move back in with my parents, no home. This ended up leading me down a path to accomplishing some lifelong dreams, finding new incredible passions, and making memories that I'll remember for the rest of my life. On top of that, I went from making a whopping $2,500 per month as a server to upwards of $5,000 per month just in the bottom quarter of last year, without even really trying to get more business. You're listening or watching episode 1 of Digressions of a Beach Cowboy, which is an extension of Confessions of a Beach Cowboy, my vlog series here on YouTube. I'm Tanner Waite. I'm lucky enough to call myself a surfer, a mechanical engineer, and a big wave enthusiast. I graduated from the University of California, Irvine with a degree in mechanical engineering in December of 2020. Gave the product development engineering world a shot, realized it wasn't for me, and truly felt like there was something bigger out there for me, and decided to throw all of that away and do whatever I could to make these dreams and to find myself and what I'm truly passionate about. The inspiration for this podcast is for myself. I want to document and observe and reflect on my journey to success and fulfillment. It should also serve as a means to hold myself accountable and for others to come and hopefully learn a thing or two. It will cover everything from surfing to engineering, life lessons, guests, but right now my focus is documenting, so anything else that comes along is just a bonus. So like, comment, and subscribe if you find any of those interesting. For some background on me, I grew up building and racing off-road cars with my dad, which meant I spent most of my childhood in the desert, and it wasn't until I was around the age of 16 that I picked up and immediately became obsessed with surfing. The lifestyle, the feeling that you get, the idea of chasing that perfect or bigger or better wave. Throughout my college career, I ended up working a wide array of different jobs, from wedding event lighting to serving in a restaurant, working for my dad who does contracting. And after I got my degree in December of 2020, I gave that product development engineering world a shot and pretty much immediately knew that this wasn't really what I was looking for, at least not for working that regular 9 to 5. I want so much more. Now, back to where we started. About this time last year, I was returning from a 6-week-long stint in Portugal, planning on starting this, quote, dream job right when I got back, or at least close enough to when I got back, only to have it delayed and ultimately fall through at the last second. This left me with no job and no money because I'd spent the rest of it buying a 1995 Mitsubishi Delica, which is my dream car, and if you know anything about Delicas or diesel full drive minivans, you know what I'm talking about. I also had no place to call home because I had moved out of where I was living prior to this trip because I was supposed to be moving to a different part of California for that job. And while I was fortunate enough to have that option to move back in with my parents, I knew that's not the direction I wanted to go. I really wanted to take this opportunity to take a step back, see myself and my life and where I wanted to go, and put myself in a situation that I needed to get myself out of. One where it was really felt like my back was against the wall. And I knew deep down that I really wanted to give surfing a shot and do whatever I could to really make it a profession and see if I could build my life around traveling, surfing, riding bigger waves, and hopefully teaching people a thing or two about this incredible sport or culture that we're a part of. I had spent my entire life in academia, but I've always felt like there was something calling me beyond that, and I feel like I'm headed in that direction of finding what that truly means for me, whether or not that is surfing or engineering or a combination of both. To me, it's worth trying. In that darkest hour where I really didn't know what I was going to do with myself, financially, mentally, physically, a super yacht captain DM'd me on Instagram and offered me a position working as a crew member doing charters for the summer out of the Newport Harbor. This proved to be my saving grace financially and was also the most fun job that I have ever had. Give me another excuse to get out on the ocean. I dare you. I will take you up on it. I am deeply in love with the ocean and all of the value and lessons that it provides to us as we encounter it and use it and be a part of it throughout our entire life. And working on the water provided me with an incredible amount of happiness and stoke and some serious networking with some very high value people, as well as seeing more dolphins than most people see in 10 lifetimes. Over the course of that summer and fall, I spent every second that I wasn't working on the boat working on myself, on my content creation, on surfing and getting better, on my physical fitness, on my mental health, as well as everything that I wanted to work on myself as a person. Because let's be real, engineers come out of school and we're awkward as hell, and I don't want to be super awkward all the time. This proved to be my most lucrative investment because sponsors now saw me as a truly marketable asset beyond just being an athlete and representing them, because now I had the option and the ability to create some valuable and, let's be real, converting content for them. It's something that I find incredibly important in today's social media driven marketplace. At the end of that summer, it led me to sign several deals and go from at most making $2,500 a month to over $5,000 per month by the end of the year. I took every penny I made from that and even then some and reinvested it into myself and my skills as a surfer, as a creator, as a person. And I took every single penny and then some that I made and reinvested it into myself as a surfer, as a creator, as an engineer, and as a person. It was because of this I got a chance to chase maybe the most dreamy run of swells I'll ever see in my life, to a wave that I feared and had become obsessed with, Nazare in Portugal. It allowed me to spend time with my family. It allowed me to spend time on Maui and get caught inside like 3 days in a row on the 3 biggest sets of the day at Jaws. I met the love of my life, made some incredible new friends, and now have memories that even if all else fails, I will be beyond stoked with for the rest of my life. I use the 20-year rule, in that in 20 years, are you going to look back on this opportunity and this experience and those risks that you took and be bummed that you did? Which for me, I know is guaranteed not going to be a bummer. For me, the most valuable tool that I got from all of this as well is just growing as a person at an exponential rate. Like I mentioned earlier, us engineers are weird. I struggled with some serious mental health issues at the beginning and throughout my college career. So going from not having any time at all and only being able to focus on problem solving and basically being a robot, to having enough time to really sit back and work through my traumas. And academia can be a very limiting place during that time that you are there if you aren't necessarily taught to take a step back at times and really think like, is this something that I love? Is there something that I need to work on? And fast forward since the beginning of this year, some of those sponsored deals timed out because I was spending too much time surfing and not enough time creating or building that creative portfolio around my skills as a surfer and as a content creator. Ultimately, this has led to me being in a worse spot financially than I was last year, but with the skills and the drive necessary to make the leaps and bounds that I know I need to and that I know that I can on this journey to success, and take my content creation, my surfing skills, my engineering business, and my life to levels that I don't think I could ever dream up, and take on life with a smile without that fear of losing. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you can't lose if you don't quit. So cheers to never giving up. Follow or subscribe if you find any of this interesting and you would like to keep up with this journey. Comment anything you want me to talk about or people you'd like to have on this podcast at one point or another. And thank you for your support. If you see me in the water, say what's up and let's do this thing.